Hello and welcome to Midday Update. Coming up are the headlines for the day. Commerce Ministry prepared for Khareef season. Committee mulls reducing treatment fees in Oman's private health institutions. Over 48,000 apply for IKEA jobs in Oman. Queue chaos at Stockholm Airport as people rush to travel. Indoor Man has a collection of around 650 antique clocks. EU special envoys meet as human rights situation in Afghanistan deteriorates. Germany and Hungary level in UEFA Nations League. Nick Kyrgios hits out at racial slurs during Stuttgart defeat. Those were the headlines. Now for the local stories for the day. The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion has confirmed its readiness for the Khareef season in Dhofar Governorate. According to Oman News Agency, Sheikh Jamal bin Abdullah Al Hinai, Director General of the Directorate of Commerce, Industry and Investment Promotion in the Governorate of Dhofar, said in a statement, the Directorate held an expanded meeting with a number of government agencies and private sector institutions concerned in the Governorate to review the Ministry's efforts and coordinate matters related to the provision of goods and food services, enhancing commercial bank services and raising the efficiency of gas station services. Al-Hinai indicated that the ministry seeks to ensure the continuation of the facilities provided by the relevant government and private agencies during the Khareef season to facilitate the arrival of foodstuff and basic commodities to centres and shops and to monitor the markets. In view of the increase in the number of arrivals to the governorate by land during the Khareef season, Al-Hinai referred to the ministry's efforts to enhance the quantities of fuel at the stations located in the various wilayats of the Dhofar Governorate, which number about 134, in addition to the stations located on the Adam Thumraith Road, indicating that the station owners stressed on the need to carry out the necessary maintenance of public facilities and provide the necessary services for travellers. There is a committee formed by the Ministry of Health in cooperation with the authorities concerned to study the possibility of reducing treatment fees in private health institutions. The Director General of the Directorate General of Private Health Institutions at the Ministry of Health announced on Sunday. According to MOH, Dr. Mohana bin Nasir Al-Maslahi, the Director General of the Directorate General of Private Health Institutions at the Ministry of Health, stated that the Ministry of Health is represented by several directorates and are working on digital payments so that all transactions are implemented electronically. He stressed that there are joint actions with all parties to work on simplifying the procedures that contribute to the digital transformation process. Dr. Al-Maslahi stated that there is a committee formed to review the fees for services provided and reduce them at the private health sector in line with the government's direction to support investment. With regard to the prices of services provided in hospitals, Dr. Al-Maslahi indicated that the relevant authorities would produce prices acceptable to all parties, contributing to the expansion of the private health sector within the scope of insurance coverage. Dr. Al-Maslahi indicated that there are approximately 1,600 institutions currently and 11 private hospitals are under construction. Swedish home furnishings giant IKEA is contributing to the local Omani economy by creating numerous job opportunities for the opening of its first store in the Sultanate of Oman. The retailer received over 48,000 applications to fill various roles across different departments and positions with a focus on equal opportunities to bring balance into the workplace. IKEA's focus on Omani hires aligns with the country's Vision 2040, which aims to diversify and build a sustainable economy to enable growth, integrating roles and creating equal work opportunities for men and women. To support the vision, IKEA has launched several training and development programs for its co-workers locally, including its resident program, Välkommen. These programs will provide all co-workers access to best practices regionally and across the global IKEA network to support the upskilling and reskilling of the nation's talent. The resident program is an introduction to the IKEA concept and includes several levels of onboarding program that instills and builds the IKEA culture and value system across the workforce. IKEA also offers role-based development, which allows the co-workers to develop in their current role to offer the right support and advice to customers in store on their home furnishing journey. Additionally, IKEA will invest in the personal development of its co-workers, with each co-worker being given a detailed plan on how they can further strengthen their skills. Al Fateh Ikea will continue to support the local economy and create opportunities for nationals and expats alike to be part of its growing business in the country and cultivate an enriching work environment where co-workers can learn and grow. Those are the local stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with the international stories for the day. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the international stories. Inbound traffic to the main international airport of the Swedish capital was diverted on Saturday as the main terminal was overcrowded with massive queues at the security gates. Already at 4:30 a.m., road traffic to Terminal 5 of Stockholm Arlanda International Airport was temporarily diverted. Later, it was decided that the express train between Stockholm City and Arlanda Airport would not stop at the terminal, media reported. According to Swedavia, the company that runs Arlanda Airport, the congestion is due to a sharp increase in passenger numbers following the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, the company has had trouble recruiting and training staff to man the security gates. The security vetting of new employees is another bottleneck. Although this has been a problem for the last few weeks, the situation was extraordinary on Saturday and Swedavia predicted that the congestion would persist. In what looked like a dream in the woods, an Indore-based man has a collection of around 650 clocks, with some being over 200 years old. Anil Bhalla owns a collection of antique clocks and has a dedicated room for their display and storage. Some clocks were brought by my grandfather from abroad, and later my father also started collecting them. I collect them as well. Some are over 200 years old. All clocks are in working condition, he told sources. These clocks range in different sizes and models, including the ones with the pendulum running on balance. Some run with a steel ball. Many of these timepieces are also handmade and some have been imported too. The maintenance of these wall pieces is also highly demanding, and sometimes the mechanics and artisans are called from Mumbai and Chennai so as to preserve these timeless pieces. He also suggested that the collection can be turned into a museum by the next generation. Many people visit Bhalla to buy this collection, but he remains attached to his antique yet unique collection of watches. In the year 2013, his name was also recorded in the Limca Book of Records for this amazing collection. He also highlighted that he also collects fans, bikes and lamps. Apart from watches, I have old fans which earlier used to have a wooden lamp and 3 blades. Moreover, I also have a bicycle dating back to the Second World War and also an old BMW bike which is in working condition, he concluded. Amid the deteriorating human rights situation due to the Taliban regime, Special Envoy of the European Union for Afghanistan, Thomas Nicholson, hosted special representatives and envoys for Afghanistan from the EU member states in Brussels on Saturday. Taking to Twitter, the envoy said, "Concerned about the deteriorating human rights situation, notably for women, girls and ethnic groups, the lack of political inclusivity and the inability of the Taliban to adopt and implement coherent policies in line with commitments to the Afghan people," media reported. In addition to the delegates, external specialists on human rights and economics attended the event. He further wrote on his Twitter handle as he condemned the Taliban's enforced stringent policies on women. He wrote about the meeting's details, which concentrated on recent issues involving women and girls, the deteriorating human rights situation, the absence of policy and public engagement, and the difficulty to implement coherent policies compliant with the international universal principles that also serve the people of Afghanistan. The meeting was held in Brussels, and the representatives of EU member states have been reminded of their continued support and commitment to the Afghan people, media reported. Moreover, this comes at a time when the Human Rights Watch has accused the Taliban of war crimes in Panjshir and has called on the international community to impose a travel ban on senior Taliban officials in a separate report. It also stated that expressing deep concern alone is not effective and that the Taliban should be made to behave in a practical and objective manner. Those are the international stories. We'll take a short break and we'll be back with the sports news. Stay tuned.
Oman's largest online supermarket, now has no minimum order limit. From grocery to household items, Rafiq has everything that you want. Enjoy worry-free shopping with over 8,000 products to choose from and get it delivered straight to your doorstep. Rafiq, you order, we deliver.
Welcome back to Midday Update. Now for the sports stories. Hungary and Germany leveled 1-1 in the UEFA Nations League Group A3 third round at the Puskás Arena on Saturday in front of 67,000 football fans. The Hungarian team took the lead with a quick goal from defender Zoran Nagy in the 6th minute, but it only took the Germans 3 minutes to answer thanks to a strike from midfielder Jonas Hoffmann. The early set score remained unchanged as Hungary, who secured a surprise win against England 1 week ago, were not awed by the team and kept attacking, but the Germans always hit back. With Saturday's encounter, Germany extended their unbeaten streak to 12 matches led by Hansi Flick since last year's European Championships, though the latest 4 having resulted in draws. Hungarian fans, however, were celebrating a draw with strong opponents as their team, coached by Italian coach Marco Rossi, kept the second position in the group before meeting England for a match in Wolverhampton next Tuesday. Australian tennis player Nick Kyrgios said Saturday he was racially abused by some of the crowd during his bad-tempered defeat against Andy Murray in the Stuttgart Open semi-finals. Kyrgios was penalized a point and then a game for unsportsmanlike conduct earlier in the second set, smashing a racket before an angry exchange with a group in the crowd. The 27-year-old, who is of Greek origin, said that he had been the victim of racism. The Australian, who was constantly complaining to the umpire, then refused to continue playing, sitting in his chair until the supervisor came out and convinced him to finish the match. Kyrgios then just went through the motions on court as Murray took complete command to secure a 7-6, 6-2 victory in 93 minutes. Murray told media, "It wasn't fun in the end. The second set wasn't a proper match. The end of the first set was deciding." Murray, who had ousted top seed Stefanos Tsitsipas the previous day, reached his 70th career final and the 10th on grass, 6 years after last playing a decider on the surface when he beat Novak Djokovic for his second Wimbledon title in 2016. On Sunday, he will bid for his first title since Antwerp in 2019 when he plays Matteo Berrettini. Those were the local, international and sports stories for the day. For more updates, stay tuned and keep watching TTV.
You've just heard the live feed from the TTV studios on TFM 95.4. Let's talk.